Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this episode we're doing the panhard and rear bushings of the rear suspension. And it's not so dry when you have a Land Rover because it just leaks shit all over the place. But you know, if there's no oil under it, there's no oil in it. And got a new paint rack set up and etch primed already. I'll go get some blue paint. First coat. See how it looks. So the nice thing with the poly bushes are they are a two-piece bush with, I'm guessing it's a stainless sleeve. So we just got to press that in. And I spoke to Polybush and they said don't use any grease because it would void the warranty. So we will go without any grease. No grease needed for these, so makes pressing them in really easy compared to some of the ones where they're solid and you got to push them all the way through. I like to see how this goes then. But yeah, panhard is painted, ready to go in. All right, let's get a bushing put together. There we go. Make it nice and easy. We'll just use the vise. Really easy install from what we can see. And yeah, that's it. Nice. All the way in. Oh, that's the panhard rod back in. Bolts are in. I just gotta get some Loctite and put the nuts on, and then we'll torque that down. Yeah, power steering's leaking everywhere, so awesome. Gotta fix that too. And like they say, it's a Defender, right? So if there's no oil underneath it, there's no oil in it. And I've got rust protection pretty much everywhere on the front end of this thing. So, yep. You're gonna need a new power steering pump, a new reservoir, hopefully. That's about it. Possibly the lines. Hopefully the steering box is good. Once we have all this done, we'll move on to the suspension, as in coils and shocks. So, but yeah, I'm liking that. The blue's gonna match in with the engine. We painted all black and blue, so we'll get it going. Bushings are out. Sandblast and paint. Old fulcrum joint was kind of gone. I think with that, I'm surprised it's still got a little bit of grease in there, but you shouldn't be able to move it around like that. So time for a new one. So we got the rear A-arms into the blast cabinet, and we're going to get them cleaned up the best we can. Here we go. The A-frame painted, the dynamic bushings in. Bush. It's really easy install. Get that in the truck in a few, and then we'll get the new fulcrum joint put on. We got the supervisor Smokey in the shop with us today. We just picked up a set of Old Man Emu suspension, and as most people know, that one side is higher than the other. So the higher side goes on the driver's side, the lower side goes on the passenger side. And we got front and back and a set of shocks from my buddy Fox up in Denver. So we'll be replacing all the tied oil suspension. We're just soaking them in penetration oil right now. And along with everything else, we found, typical Land Rover. But we have new replacement outriggers, and we got one for each side. The best thing about it, there was this fir tree that was shoved in that hole to hide it, which was, yeah, that was great. And then I also found just a little hole up there, so we'll get my welding guy, Sean. He will tackle some of that for us. But yeah, we'll get all that changed out. I'm gonna take this one off. For the rear trailing arm, we have this one, or I should say control arm, whatever it's called. We have this one ready to painted, ready to go back on. And then we'll take this side off here in a little bit. And that leaves the front radius arms, which are just a little too big to go in my sandblast cabinet. So we're going to take them off to another buddy, Bradley at Divide Machine Shop, and he'll get them sandblasted for us once we have everything pressed out and ready for replacement. But yeah, just got some wood going in, and like I say, big thank you to Fox. And we just got the ATV in because we just got a load of wood in for the fireplace because it's a little cold outside today. Alrighty, get back to you in here in a minute. Now the bushings on the rear radius arm, pretty easy with this machine. There it is. All right, second coat. Okay, so now we'll get the bolts on the plate, then we'll get the other side of the bushing in, start putting the nut back on. I just went to the hardware store and we picked out some new nuts and bolts for this, which are not the metric ones, but they're grade 8, so they should be good enough for what we're doing. All right, we'll get these tied up and get the bushings set. So that's all the rear bushings done and painted, and just gotta tighten these ones up, but we'll do that when we get the torque wrench out, and we'll put some blue Loctite on that. So that's all the rear suspension bushings done. Just now waiting for tighten up. Now we can move on to the front, and then we'll come back and address the axle issue while we're doing the springs and the shocks, as we have all of our new Old Man Emu slightly used setup that didn't even see 2,000 miles. So next is pull that off, the steering bar off, and then we'll pull the front radius arms off. We've got to change the bushing in here and your bushing in there. And then that's when my buddy Bradley's gonna get the sandblast on that, because they're just a little longer than the rear control arms, so, or radius arms, sorry, and the front radius arms are just a little longer. So we'll get it in his sandblast cabinet, and then we'll get them painted up the same color to match. And then yeah, suspension, and then we'll have to address a little bit of the chassis problem.
So as you've seen there, please watch out for the next episode. Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and please share and hit that notification button when the next video comes out. Thank you.